the lords of the undernight. The dark elves of Tanalon in the deepest cracks beneath the world. Where light is not banished but forgotten, they dwell. Silent slave masters whose victims' screams of suffering sound like sweet music to their ears. These are not elves as the bards sing. These are the tyrant-born, the obsidian fist, the lords below, the dark elves of Tanalon. Beneath the fractured crust of Tanalon, there lies a world unseen by sun or sky. A sprawling, jagged underworld carved of obsidian, laced with blood magic and bathed in eternal blackness. This is Talzareth, the true homeland of the Dark Elves. The Dark Elves, a distinct sub-race of the elven kind, long ago turned their backs on the surface and its gods. They did not fall from grace. They rejected it, convinced that no force in existence stood above their own. They believe their race is supreme, born to dominate not through empire, but through control, fear, and pain. To the surface dwellers, they are a myth whispered near campfires and the shadows of cavern mouths. But those who know better speak their name with trembling certainty. Because once the Dark Elves come for you, it is already too late. They are not invaders. They are raiders, slavers who breach the surface only to drag bodies back into the depths. The upper world is not their goal. It is a playground, a source of meat, pain, and amusement. They take what they need, break what they capture, and vanish through their gateways before the screams can stop echoing. They have no interest in ruling kingdoms beneath the sun. The very idea offends their pride. The surface is impure. It stinks of weakness, light, and mercy. They are tall, elegant, and carved from shadow. The Dark Elves of Talzareth stand as one of the oldest and most feared races in the world of Tanalon. Standing around 6 feet tall, they are lean yet muscular, perfectly built for speed, precision, and brutality. Their movements are graceful but always dangerous, like knives dancing through moonlight. Their skin tones range from coal black to pale violet, often appearing like living stone beneath the surface glow of underworld fungi. Their eyes shine in deep hues of purple, crimson, or blood ruby, though rarer individuals bear gemstone tones, sapphire, jade, or topaz, often a sign of magical mutation or ancient bloodlines. Hair colors are as unnatural as the creatures themselves. Most bear white, silver, deep violet, or jet black hair, worn in braids, war knots, or free like spider silk. Piercings are common: ears, lips, brows, necks, each piece forged from dark silver or obsidian, and often enchanted. Their preferred clothing is minimal yet deadly in design: black or ash-colored armor, layered with leather, void silk, and thin chain. Even outside of war, they dress in dark elegance: flowing coats, high collars, and shadow-dyed fabrics. It is both a cultural choice and a visual threat. You are never safe around a dark elf. They see the world not as a place of peace, but of pleasure and dominance. Most are hedonists, indulging in pain, narcotics, and flesh with equal hunger. The glowing fungi of their homeland serve not only as sustenance, but also as narcotics and hallucinogens, fuel for their endless pursuit of sensation. Their diet is a horror, comprised mainly of slave flesh, deep mushrooms, and the infamous black wine, a thick alchemical brew that stains the teeth and burns like memory. They eat only what they dominate, drink only what can be bled. Nothing they consume is innocent. They are not mortal in the traditional sense. A dark elf may live thousands of years, and most retain their youth for centuries. But age does not bring them wisdom. It brings cruelty refined. A creature who has enslaved and slaughtered for a millennium is not wise. They are perfected in their depravity. To understand the Dark Elves is to abandon the concepts of morality, compassion, or empathy. Their society is built not on justice, but dominance. Strength is the only virtue, and weakness is a debt to be collected in blood. They are divided into ancient, warring clans, each tracing its bloodline through sorcery, conquest, or mutation. Those born into the clans are tattooed with magical white ink across their faces and bodies, sigils that glow faintly in total darkness. These markings denote rank, ancestry, and arcane power. Those without such marks, the tattoo-less, are exiles, criminals, or clanless bastards. Often treated no better than slaves, these outcasts live by mercenary work, assassination, or desperate attempts to reclaim their place. Unlike many surface cultures, gender holds no role in power. Dark elf men and women are equals. In magic, in cruelty, in leadership. The throne of Talzareth has been held by both kings and queens alike, all known only by one title, Tyrant. The tyrant is not a ruler in the traditional sense. They are the greatest predator, chosen through a cycle of ritual combat, arcane duels, and carefully orchestrated assassination. The strongest clans serve as their advisors, though in truth, every advisor is also a rival, waiting for weakness. The Dark Elves are mage warriors of terrifying skill. They do not separate the blade from the spell. To fight one is to face a duelist who can rip the blood from your veins while dodging your sword. Their magic is drawn from the dark wells of reality. Blood magic, which allows them to heal by draining the agony of others. Void magic, used to tear sanity and space itself. Shadow magic, which cloaks their movements in silence. And abyssal magic, a raw, unholy force that unravels both flesh and soul. They do not employ healers or priests. They do not pray. They feed on pain, suffering, and blood, heal and restoring themselves with the painful agony of others. Their weapons are forged from obsidian metal, pulled from the black veins of their homeland. Sharp, jagged, and often cursed, these blades are paired with barbed whips, chains, and hand crossbows, tipped with paralytic venom. Every warrior carries poison, some carry dozens, and none hesitate to use them. They ride into battle atop blind, two-legged lizard beasts, creatures bred in darkness, to move silently across stone, climb walls, and rip flesh with hooked talons. Their sense of hearing and smell more than make up for their blindness. When the gates open and the Dark Elves charge forth, there is no trumpet, no roar, just the whisper of steel and the bite of chains. Though fluent in many tongues, the Dark Elves often refuse to speak aloud. Among themselves, they rely on a refined, fluid sign language, a silent code of hand gestures used in raids, rituals, and war councils. To speak aloud in battle is seen as weakness. Silence is power. Silence is control. Their voices are often soft, melodic, and cold when they do choose to speak. But beneath the softness lies venom, like silk hiding a blade. Throughout the world of Tanalon, the Dark Elves maintain a vast and hidden network of surface outposts. Most are built around magical gateways, runes etched in blood, and void stone that allow them to strike from nowhere. Many of these outposts appear abandoned or overgrown. Some lie beneath old ruins, others hidden in cliffs, caves, or cursed forests. From these nodes, they stage raids on towns, cities, and caravans, taking slaves, gold, knowledge, or simply for sport. They have no economy in the surface sense. Their wealth is measured in flesh, secrets, and obedience. Slavery is not a side effect of their culture. It is their culture. Every Dark Elf family owns slaves. Some have hundreds, others thousands. Most surface dwellers captured by the Dark Elves either kill themselves or go mad before ever reaching the underworld. Those who don't suffer lives of torment, mutilation, and silence. Though some whisper of rebellion, almost all are crushed within days. The Dark Elves are masters of control, using pain, fear, and arcane collars to dominate their chattel. Slave revolts have occurred, but each ends in blood, fire, and often ritual sacrifice of the survivors. The few who escape tell stories that leave even hardened soldiers weeping. It is said that to fall into the hands of the Dark Elves is a fate worse than death. Most believe that, because it's true. Though the Dark Elves view themselves as superior to all other species, they are not above interacting with the surface world when it suits them. On rare occasions, they enter human cities to conduct business, trade, or mercenary deals. But even then, they refuse to degrade themselves by speaking directly to what they consider lesser beings. Instead, they choose a representative, usually a slave trained in diplomacy or speech, to act as their voice. This slave speaks with the merchants, negotiates prices, signs contracts, while their Dark Elf master stands in silence nearby, cloaked in shadow, watching like a spider. It is an act of dominance, a reminder they do not speak to food. Despite this disdain, some Dark Elves have, over centuries, gained reputations among surface nations as mercenaries, assassins, or even heroes. These individuals are almost always clanless outcasts, tattooless, driven from the deep warrens, and forced to survive above ground. Their deeds may save lives, topple tyrants, or defeat demons. But no matter what they do, they are never fully trusted. Among common folk, a dark elf walking openly in a city may not be attacked, but they are rarely welcomed. Whispers follow them like shadows. Doors close, children are pulled from streets, soldiers keep hands near hilts. They are feared, hated and obeyed, but never embraced. Even the few who fight for good carry the scent of blood with them. And the people of Tanalon, those who remember what happens when the black gateways open, know better than to believe a dark elf has truly changed. Despite their reach and power, the dark elves have no interest in conquering the surface. To them, the world above is beneath them, a realm of filth, sun and softness. They raid only to collect what they desire: slaves, materials, knowledge, or entertainment. Their love for their homeland is unmatched. The echoing silence of Talzareth, the taste of black wine, the glow of fungi gardens, the scent of blood on stone, these are things no surface world can offer. The very idea of permanent colonization above ground is laughable. The surface exists to be bled, not ruled, and yet now and then rumors surface of a massive force gathering underground, of a new tyrant uniting the clans for a massive obsidian crusade, not to conquer, but to harvest, entire kingdoms perhaps, not for gold, but for meat. The dark elves are not nightmares. They are real. They do not fear the light. They do not crave your world. They come only when they hunger. And when they do, well, run little meat. Run fast and hard. All that running will just make you taste better.